Hi there. Well, today I am very excited to be bringing you a review and tour of my brand new Michael by Michael Kors Jet Set Travel Multifunction Tote. So I'm going to sit back a little ways from the camera today because the bag is quite large. So here it is. As you can see, it's a very classic style tote bag. Very simple on the outside, but there is a whole lot of organization on the inside. I've really fallen in love with this bag. I found this at my local Macy's on a clearance table, and I thought the color was just so beautiful. It would really go with everything. It's very neutral. The color is called Dark Dune, and it's definitely a taupe color, but it also has a little bit of gray to it in certain lights, but I would say definitely does lean toward the brown taupe side of things. But I really was sort of attracted to not only the style of the tote, but all of the pockets and organization it had on the inside. So what I thought I would do is bring you a review and tour of the bag today, and then I'm also going to film a what's in my bag video, which I will post in a couple of days, but I just didn't want to do them together because I thought it would be a little bit too long. So in this video, the bag is going to be empty. I'm just going to show you all of the features. So let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned in the introduction, this is the Jet Set Travel Multifunction Tote. And the reason why I want to emphasize that is because when I was doing my own research looking at the Michael Kors bags, I got a little bit confused on their website because it seemed like everything in the tote style was called Jet Set, and only when I got to my Macy's did I see that this one was called a multi-function tote. So that was a little bit confusing for me just to try to decide between the different styles. I was originally thinking that I was going to get the zip top tote, but it was a little bit smaller in person when I got there, and it felt like it wasn't large enough for my everyday needs. That being said, this is a very large bag, and at first I thought it might actually be a little bit too large for an everyday bag. I think for most people this would probably be more of a work bag, a commuting travel bag, or if you know, some sort of work tote. It certainly can fit a laptop, and I'm actually going to show you that inside. But for me, I really felt like I could use it as an everyday bag, and once I got used to it after a couple days, it really didn't feel as large anymore. I will say though, I think on a very petite frame, this bag might be a little bit overwhelming. I am 5'10", so I think I can accommodate a little bit larger of a bag, but just something to be aware of that it is large, probably by any standard. So let me go ahead and give you the measurements of this. So this is actually 18 inches across, it's 11 inches tall, and then 6 inches deep. So it's a pretty substantial bag, but once I get all of my items in it, I really love it because in a normal bag, you just sort of have one big open space and everything sort of goes in and things are on top of each other, and I find that I have to dig around for items a lot, which is really frustrating, and something that I need always seems to be on the bottom. The great thing about this bag is there's so much organization on the inside, and there's a place for everything, so I can put all of my items in there, and then when I look down into my bag, I can see exactly what I need right away. Just take that item out without disturbing everything else. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through the bag section by section and show you what the features are. So hopefully I can get back here far enough where you can see. So this is in two distinct sections with a divided zipper section in the middle. So I'm going to start back here. This has two slip pockets on the back wall and also a zippered section. This is a great place for a cell phone, gum or mints, tissues, and then also that secure zip wall pocket is a really great place to keep anything that you might be concerned about falling out of the bag. And that's got a really nice, generously sized space in there. There's also a dog clip style key keeper, which is really great, especially in a bag of this size. You want to be able to find your keys readily, so I really like that about it. The lining is very nice. It seems like it would be stain resistant. It seems like a nylon lining. It is very pretty though. It does have the Michael Kors logo on it, and the color of it is just suited to the outside of the bag. It's just complimentary of that, so it's a very light tan color. Okay, this middle section is zippered as well. It's also padded so that you could carry a laptop. I have a 15-inch laptop. I've not tried it, but I don't think that that would fit, so maybe something smaller. I think in some of the reviews I saw that people were saying their MacBook Air would actually fit in here. So here is this middle zippered section. This is a really nice large area. Even if you don't carry a laptop or iPad, this would be a great place to keep anything that you were worried about falling out or keeping secure and out of sight. So maybe a wallet or something like that would be a great thing to put in this middle section. I also love that it divides the two halves of the bag, so it just keeps things more organized and together. Okay, now on the other side of the zipper pocket, there's another very large slip pocket. This is a great place for an iPad. And then moving into the second main section. So this is very large as well, as you can tell. And there are 2 more slip pockets on the wall down here. So as you can see, there is just so much space in this bag. There really is a place for everything, which keeps everything really nice and neat, which is what I love about it. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over just so you can see a little bit more. I know this is sort of an awkward way to look at this bag, but hopefully this will give you a better idea of what the organization looks like on the inside. Now that I've shown you around the bag and some of the features, I want to talk to you a little bit about what I think are the pros of the bag and the features that stand out to me the most. So first and foremost, it has to be the Saffiano leather. This is probably what I was drawn to the most when I was looking at the Michael by Michael Kors bags. I really like the idea that this would be a very scratch resistant leather, something that would hold up over time. And I love that it's very durable and actually stands up on its own. You don't have to worry about this bag flopping over. It has a whole lot of structure. This leather is very firm. It is somewhat flexible, so you don't have to worry about it being uncomfortable, but I love that when you set the bag down, it will stand up on its own. This bag does not have feet on the bottom, so that might be a concern. I usually put my bag someplace safe and off of the floor anyway, so I'm not too worried about wear and tear down there, but just something to be aware of if that is a feature that you like. This particular bag does not have that. The other thing I really liked were the color choices. Although I was really drawn to this one and it was on clearance, so it sort of made my decision a little bit easier. There are so many great color options on the Michael Kors bags. They come out with new ones every season, and there were actually a few that I was really torn between. This is something I could definitely see myself having multiples of this style of bag in different colors, and there's really something for everyone. It's got beautiful neutrals and then some really bright seasonal colors as well. So I think you'll find something that you enjoy if you like this bag. The tote styling of it, the classic styling, I love that it's a very simple look to it. I'm always very drawn to classic styles of bags, and so this one's no different. I love the simplicity of it. It's just very straightforward, very classic, very sophisticated, so I really like that about it. Also, the middle zippered section is something that I really enjoy. I'd really hoped to get a bag that would zip completely on the top, and he does have some bags like that, but again, because this one was a color that I liked and it was on clearance, this is the one that I went for. But I do like that I can still keep some items that I want to keep secure in the zipper section, so it really kind of did away with that concern for me, knowing that there was a place I could put items I would be mostly concerned about. The other thing that I like is that there's so many pockets in this. I have a place to put my cell phone and my gum and mints, things that I like to get to quickly, maybe hand sanitizer. So I know where all those everyday things that I'm usually getting in and out are. And I love that about it. I also mentioned to you that because there's so much space in this bag, I don't have to pile my items on top of each other, so I'm quickly able to see and grab what I need without disturbing everything else in the bag. So I think for me, this is a great everyday bag. Some of the cons about it might be that it is a little bit large. I think, you know, by any standard, it is a large bag. If you're very petite, as I mentioned before, this might be a little bit too much for every day. But for me, I really like it, and I got used to the size pretty quickly. I would say one of the other cons for me probably is that it doesn't have that zipper close like I mentioned, but because it does have that middle zippered section, that was sort of not such a big deal for me. One last thing that I do want to mention is you may be concerned that these thin straps might be uncomfortable, and I was actually surprised to find that they're not at all, even with the size and weight of this bag. The bag on its own is not heavy, let me just clear that up, but once you have all of your items inside, because it does accommodate quite a bit of stuff, I tend to carry more. But what I was surprised to find that even though these are narrow, they really don't hurt. It doesn't feel like it puts a lot of pressure on my shoulder. It's actually opposite than some of the other bags that I carried with wider straps. Those would tend to rub on my shoulder bone here, and I find that with this bag, because they are narrow, they sit in this spot a little bit more easily, and they actually don't rub on my shoulder there. So I was really actually very surprised, pleasantly surprised about that. So I think that covers everything about the bag. Hopefully this gave you some better information about it. I am so tickled with it. I absolutely love it. I would definitely get another color of this exact same bag. I think it's fantastic, and I am also interested in looking at some of the other Michael Kors bags. So if you have any questions that you feel I can answer, please do leave them down below and I will do my best. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.